Peter McNabb and Stan Fischler and Matt Loughlin and I have had the good fortune to be inside on a lot of thrilling nights. This time, we're outside on another very exciting night, the official team celebration by the New Jersey Devils of their Stanley Cup championship. The music goes on, the crowd is gathered around. They want to get one more look at their heroes before their heroes depart for a little rest that is very well earned over the course of the summertime.
And Michael, I really can't express what a thrill it is to be part of this. We had a great run last year that ended in the semifinals with the Devils losing the 7th game to the New York Rangers. And this year they went all the way. They're all the way to Stanley Cup champions, 16-4 in the playoffs. I mean, and the fans, just the atmosphere, and I think most especially that 4th game, the feeling right after the game, the emotion on the ice and then in the dressing room is something that I know I'll never forget.
When did you leave the arena early Sunday morning?
I left about 2:30.
And there were still a lot of people here, weren't there?
There were a lot of people, a lot of players. They were moving on to a party that the Devils management put on a nice little party at a certain place. And you know, but it was in the way the players handled the whole celebration, I thought was just very special. I don't think I've ever seen a group of athletes talk so easily about their teammates, so easily about their wives, so easily about their parents, and again, so easily about the fans that have supported them so well. And again, it's just exemplified with the crowd that's shown up for tonight's game.
Yes, there have been airplanes going on over, that's all right, it's a force of habit, isn't it? There have been airplanes flying overhead with messages. There will be a motorcade eventually. There will be speeches from people very significant to the club that we'll be hearing a little bit later on. There's music right now. You'll be hearing from Russ Salzberg, who is the official MC of this event too. Matt Loughlin is around. Stan Fischler is around too. Stan continues to be involved in covering the other side of this celebration today. The story that had been earlier reported by WFAN that Gaylord Entertainment in Nashville had made a down payment to purchase the team. He had spoken with Richard Evans, who had said that that story is unfounded, and so it is for now just being held in abeyance until we can work further on that. Matt, of course, is as usual working the crowd here and being a part of this excitement too, but the emotion level that we've seen here, despite the fact that 2-3 days have passed, I guess traditionally the Montreal Canadiens, who got in the habit of doing this, would do it the very next day. 3 days have passed and it hasn't dimmed the enthusiasm of people here at all, it seems.
And it's great enthusiasm. Just speaking of enthusiasm, Mike, what was your favorite moment of the playoff?
I think it was probably in the 3rd round when Claude Lemieux scored the goal that took the Flyers down 3-2 rather than having Philadelphia coming back here where they'd won 2 games. I think that was the most significant moment for me because it then looked like the Devils could make the finals. The rest to me was all gravy. It was all exciting gravy, but there was a question in my mind whether they were going to be that good to get that far. What about you?
Well, for me, it was Game 6. Claude Lemieux's goal that made it 4-1, and from that point on, you just knew in your heart the Devils were going to the Stanley Cup Final.
Matt Loughlin is here. He is down in the crowd. What do you have, Matthew?
Well, Mike, I'm a little protected by the fans. It is a sea of humanity, as you can tell, and as we've been relaying, Denise Kelter is one of the fans who have come out, and Denise, obviously you're thrilled by the fact that the Stanley Cup is here in New Jersey.
Definitely. We've been with them from the beginning.
How long have you been a fan? For 13 years?
Yes, we have. I used to work at Ice World when they practiced there.
What are your thoughts, though, about the stories in the paper lately about the possible move? Obviously, it still brought you out.
Well, it brought me out because I'm a true fan, but I think the governor should really look into her heart. We picked her because we thought she'd be a better governor than all the rest. Apparently, she's not. I understand Mr. McMillan. The Giants and the Jets get more than the Devils, and they're not a New Jersey team. The Devils are our team. Give them more. Keep them here. Keep them where they belong.
All right, Denise, echoing the comments of several of the fans. Obviously, no Nashville to sign behind me. These fans want the team to stay. Stan, where are you?
Well, Matt, I'm right down here I can't hear myself talk, obviously. I think I'm going to need a hearing aid when this is over. I'm going to talk to one of the fans. What's your name?
Mine's Sean.
Mike, what was your biggest thrill during the playoffs?
When Niedermayer came right through all the defenses single-handedly to make that fucking goal. It was great, just great.
Matt, take it away.
Thank you very much, Stan. Over the course of reviewing our memories, you were in the midst of talking about the 6th game against the Philadelphia Flyers, and that particular series is one of the more prominent memories, too. The fan mentioned the Niedermeyer goal. I think one of the things that stands out in my mind in a game that has to do with hitting as well as with scoring was Scott Stevens' huge hit on Slava Kozlov in the second game in Detroit, too.
Scott Stevens just proved to be a tremendous leader, the captain when everyone expected him to be. And Scott Stevens had one dream, and that dream was to win a Stanley Cup, and now he is the captain of a Stanley Cup winning team. That's no greater honor in hockey.
That's right. Let's check in back again with Matt Laughlin. We'll have more of our coverage coming up from the Meadowlands Arena in East Rutherford, New Jersey, in just a moment. Flying it ahead. Big drive. Blocked off by Regan. Stevens again. Crosses. Score! Scott Stevens on a backhander. Got it. Come Crash the Party is sponsored by Starter. It's about team. And that's what this celebration is about tonight. We've talked about several players. What about one that was born right in the state of New Jersey, and Jim Dowd? What a marvelous year he had.
Just talking with Mr. and Mrs. Dowd, you know, after the game and today, they're just tremendously proud of their son, the only New Jersey player in the National Hockey League.
A year that had a very severe shoulder injury thrown into it, but did not keep him away from playing in the Stanley Cup playoffs, in the finals, and even scoring a goal. There is great pride not only here, but also in Brick, New Jersey, where he is very renowned. Let's watch. While New Jersey celebrated its first Stanley Cup championship Saturday night, a night that will be remembered forever by Devils fans, it was extremely special for Brick Township and the family of New Jersey native Jim Dowd, a man with an auspicious hockey beginning.
Jimmy was probably, of all the boys at the same age, was the least. Very talented. At the same age, most of the boys were better than he was. It wasn't any big thing, you know, he was just a little kid who was learning to skate, nothing outstanding.
But by high school, Dowd began to exhibit the form which would bring him to the NHL.
When you make that step up, is it real, or, you know, some people step up and some people fold. Of course, you know the story with Jim. He stepped up and met the challenge.
Although his success in college and the NHL has been enjoyed by many, it is his family with the greatest memories of just how good Dowd was.
Of course, to us, at least to myself, at that, I never really knew anybody at all from around Jersey that had done it in college. He made it, played well. The next year when I went out to see him at Lake Superior, I was kind of awestruck. I said, gee, these guys are probably the best college kids in the country, and he's playing. Just great thing. Over the summer, in August, I got to work out with those guys, and it's the first time I ever really got to skate with my brother, and I really thought that I was good enough to actually be on the ice with him. He gave me a cross-ice pass one time to win. That was pretty unbelievable.
It was my senior year. He was a freshman, and we had a real good team. We lost, I think, 3 games. The last loss was the state championship. Teammates are great, but then when it's your brother, it just makes it extra special.
But it is not only his family, but the whole town of Brick that is enjoying Jim Dowd.
The idea that he's the only New Jersey person born in New Jersey on the team, and he scored the winning goal in game 2. So we're really excited about it, and the family is a great family. And I think more importantly that Jim decided a while ago to make Brick Township his home. He's purchased a home in New Jersey, so whatever happens to him in his hockey career, he's going to come back to New Jersey.
More excitement here at the Meadowlands Arena in East Rutherford, New Jersey. We have understood that the players are starting to work their way over to the Motorcade, so we are getting closer and closer to getting a chance to see these guys again today after having such a wait. We will have more coming up for you from the Meadowlands Arena in East Rutherford, New Jersey on News Sport. Our coverage of the Stanley Cup celebration will continue after this.
It is the oldest, most coveted trophy in North America. Each year, one NHL team in city gets to take it home. Now, you can own a piece of NHL history by ordering the official 1995 Stanley Cup Championship page. Relive the drama and passion of the most fiercely contested award in professional sports over and over again. To order the official 1995 Stanley Cup Championship tape, call 1-800-GO-NHL-95.
This isn't just hockey.
This is roller hockey. Who needs ice? We've got wheels.
Yeah, even the puck has wheels.
You mean ball bearings.
Man, this thing can fly.
And we're a bit more civilized around here.
No fighting allowed.
Come Crash the Party is sponsored by Starter. It is about team. Along with Matt Laughlin and Stan Fischler, along with Peter McNabb, my old sidekick here, Mike Emmerich from the Meadowlands Arena in East Rutherford, New Jersey. More of the excitement of this celebration that is about to become more prominent up on the stage as the players will be involved in a motorcade, and then there will be people significant to the team who will be talking to the crowd here, saluting them. This is a chance for the players to also talk to the fans tonight, as well as for the fans to salute what the players achieved.
Well, Michael, the people that the people really want to see for tonight have left. The motorcade is starting to make its way around the arena, so it should be here in a few minutes. And that's when the excitement is really going to build. The players haven't been with the fans since the end of the game on Saturday night. They've been doing various different things, but this will be that big celebration both parties are looking forward to.
Well, I wonder where Matt Laughlin is now and with whom he is about to talk. Matt.
Mike, I'm with Frank Gaskill. He's from Perth Amboy, a longtime Devils supporter. Frank, how long have you been here this afternoon?
Since 4 o'clock.
Why did you decide to come out so early?
Get a good stand.
Well, you've got a good view. There's some sense of quiet anticipation here as everyone is waiting for the motorcade to make its way here. You were in the building Saturday night. Can you relay your thoughts to us when the Devils finally won the Stanley Cup?
Ecstasy. Complete ecstasy.
Who's your favorite Devils player and why?
Probably Randy McKay. I don't know. He's good. He's a good player, a team player. Hits hard. He's there for you when you need him.
Embodies all those great Devils qualities. There is an update on the Nashville situation. For that, we send it over to Stan Fischler.
Well, a lot of fans here are asking me about Nashville, and all I can relate is what I was told. And I spoke to Dick Evans of Gaylord Entertainment. He denied the rumor that's been going around. And, of course, I talked to Gary Bettman, the commissioner of the National Hockey League. He says it's ridiculous. And fans here are just dying to talk. One of them is Bobby Thompson from Sayreville, and Bobby has his 5 favorite Devils from the playoff. Who are they, Bobby?
Top 5 are Scott Stevens, his major hit on Eric Lindros, Martin Brodeur, fantastic save on McLeish. Also, Claude Lemieux, the Conn Smythe winner. The other two have got to be Scotty Niemeyer and Stefan Richer.
And one question fan asked me is, what would happen if this Devils team played the Rangers in a 4 out of 7?
I'll tell you what, the way the Devils played this Red Wings, I don't know, but I would give the benefit of the doubt and say maybe the Rangers would have won just one. So the Devils in 5 against the Rangers.
Mike, Peter?
We will have more of our coverage from the Meadowlands Sports Complex in just a moment.
I can't get it.
Moving around behind the net. Has Ralston there. Swung it in front. Come Crash the Party is sponsored by Starter. It's about team. Here again at the Meadowlands Sports Complex, you see the motorcade is now lined up. There are fans lined up all around the high screens that you see there at the left. And of all the fans here, one of them has been found by Matt Laughlin. Matt?
All right, Mike, I'm at the head of the motorcade. Ken Danico and his wife and daughter, the Scott Stevens family, leading the procession, acknowledging the cheers of the fans. And Kenny, it's been 4 days now since the victory on Saturday. How does it feel?
It's unbelievable, and just see the great fan support we're getting. These people should enjoy it just as much as us. A lot of them have waited just as long as us, and it's the greatest feeling in the world.
You are clearly one of the more popular Devils players. You've been here since the beginning so long. The way the players, the fans respond to you obviously warms your heart.
This is unbelievable. I mean, words can't even express how great this feeling is, and I just want these people to have a great time with us. We're the first Jersey team with the Jersey name to win something, and they should just cherish the moment.
All right, well, I know that his daughter's enjoying it along with the wife. Kenny, enjoy the rest of the night. move to John McClain as we make our way down the motorcade. And John, the fans responding. Big smile on your face. What a great night.
Great. This is great. You dream about something like this, and for the fans to come out here and enjoy this with us, just great. I'm glad everybody showed up.
After the immediacy of winning it, you've had a few days to let it sink in. Any difference in your feelings?
Still a great feeling, you know, and it's still real special, and just going to hope to enjoy it for a long time after.
What is the word that you'd like to get out to these fans tonight?
Just thanks for everything, coming out and supporting us, and I've been with them just as long as they've been with me, so I appreciate that, and we finally did it. We can call ourselves champs.
Back in the early days of your career, did you ever think you'd see something like this?
No, you dream about it, but when it finally happens, it's unbelievable, and I'm glad everybody showed up like they did this evening.
All right, enjoy the night, John. Randy McKay also in the car. Gonna make my way down to Tommy Chorsky. Let me see if I can hop around the back here and join Tommy. And Tommy, you've got your finger extended, #1. The Devils indeed are #1.
Well, it's so exciting. It's great to see all the fans. One of my biggest fans since I've been here is right over here, and it's a treat to see her. She was off at college all year, and I don't know, it's things like that make it so special.
Growing up, as you were playing the game on the outdoor rinks, did you ever envision a night like this?
Well, you dream about it, and you see it on TV, and you try to picture it, but until it really happens, it's just that. It's just a dream, and now that it's a reality, it's yours for life.
How does it feel to carry the label of Stanley Cup champion?
Boy, I haven't even acknowledged that. I've just been so thrilled, just everything that's been happening to us, and being able to be around the cup and celebrate it. It's something that every hockey player just dreams about.
Have you gotten any sleep yet?
I had to sleep last night. Finally, I ran out of gas, so last night I had some good rest.
All right, Tom, enjoy the night. Let's send it back upstairs to Mike and Peter.
Our coverage will continue as the motorcade winds its way around the arena. More coverage on News Sport coming up after these words.
Great seats.
Here's your hot dog,
Yeah, I'll get you, dog. What? What? You don't actually play for the Maple Leafs, do you?
We're in sudden death overtime. Here's a 3-on-2. This could end it. He shoots. He scores!
Come Crash the Party is sponsored by Starter. It's about team. And that very familiar chant of Let's Go Devils is ringing up into the sky here. Check downstairs with Matt Laughlin, who is with Claude Lemieux.
Mike, the MVP, enjoying this night. The fans responding with cheers of MVP. Claude, what a beautiful night for New Jersey Devil fans.
Yeah, this is great. You know, the people are having fun, the fans, and this is their reward, and hopefully they can enjoy it and have a great time tonight.
You won a cup in Montreal, which is considered the center and the heart of hockey. How does tonight compare to the celebration there? It seems that it can't be matched. What's happening here tonight?
It's obviously very different, but the fans have always been great here in New Jersey, and they deserve a celebration, and hopefully this will be something they can always remember.
We've asked the other players after it has settled in now for 4 days. What are your thoughts?
It's just starting to settle in myself, and I think it's going to be a great summer, and hopefully we can do it again.
All right, Claude Lemieux responding to the fans. High fives, congratulations for the MVP. Mike and Peter.
The MVP indeed. What a marvelous playoff run that Claude Lemieux had, not only last year, but particularly this year, earning the Conn Smythe Trophy for being the MVP. And I think one of the touching stories is that Claude has dedicated so many of the important moments of his life to his brother Serge up in Quebec province. That another of the wonderful stories about this great group of guys that you were talking about earlier. Let's check in again with Matt Laughlin, and I think Scott Niedermeyer this time.
All right, it's a little loud here. It's hard to hear, but Billy Guerin is acknowledging the cheers. He just stood up to salute the fans. They were awfully important in this Devils drive to the Cup.
They sure were. We obviously, I mean, couldn't have done it without them. They're, you know, they're the greatest fans you could ever ask for, and they've been put through a lot this season with all the talks of moving and everything like that. And they're #1 fans, so we're very lucky to have them. Very lucky.
The 4-game sweep of the Red Wings, has it sunk in yet? And what are your thoughts as you look back on this great run?
Absolutely not. I mean, look at this. This is an absolute dream, and you know, we're just going to enjoy the moment right now, and with the fans and with our families, it's unbelievable.
How do you react to all the reports about the team possibly being on the move?
Well, you know, we're going to let that rest for a while. We're going to enjoy today.
All right, Bill, that's the way it should be as we go upstairs to Mike and Peter.
Bill Guerin, who had some memorable games, the 2-goal game in Game 1 in Philadelphia was one of them that stands out in my mind, but a guy that has certainly come on to be a tremendous player for the Devils this year.
When you talk about Billy Guerin, you just talk about the prototype power forward of the National Hockey League. I thought that the Devils, with their hitting, that's where they really took over the series against the Detroit Red Wings, and those hits, Guerin on Coffey, I thought really helped slow down the offensive attack for the Red Wings and just set up so much of the Devils' strength, that good, solid defensive play.
Matt is down with Stéphane Richer. Matt?
Stéphane Richer is a part of this motorcade as well. He should be. Stéphane, how do you feel?
Well, it's great. I mean, for me, that's the second one, but this one means a lot, you know, and just to see the people around and show up, you know, a lot of people like this, it means a lot, I think, for the people in New Jersey. And hopefully now we're gonna stay here for the next few years. Hopefully.
Which one's sweeter, the first or the second?
Well, it's two different ball games. The first one I was a bit too young, and in Montreal, it's every year people always expect to see the team win. But this year that was a different ball game. You guys know we were underdog all the time. We won, and people deserve this.
What do you say to the fans who have come out here tonight?
Hey, I want to thank everybody to show up. They deserve it, and hopefully we'll be back next year.
All right, they want to get this motorcade going, folks. We'll send it back upstairs to you, Mike and Peter.
Well, Stéphane's back undoubtedly is a very minor consideration now. Remember, this is a guy who also has sacrificed some this year and has played in pain at times, but had another marvelous season, especially being the leading point getter in all of the playoffs for New Jersey.
And again, you look at Stéphane Richer, just looking one of the best talents in the National Hockey League. No one talked about him as being the MVP, but as you mentioned, Mike, he led the Devils in scoring, and the Devils took so much confidence from that Boston series, and he had some spectacular games early against the Bruins.
Well, you were mentioning Bill Guerin, and in particular, a guy who is from the New England area, and you and I, of course, know his family so well, and having had a chance to be with them and with Bill when they beat the Bruins in the playoffs last year, and then did the same thing again this year. We see Mike Peluso down there, and I believe that's Bobby Holik nearby.
All right, we're joined now by Bill Peluso and Mike Peluso. Mike, what a wonderful night. Can you express your thoughts at this point?
It's an unbelievable feeling. The only thing missed is a few dents in our car from the crash line.
Well, the crash line, of course, so instrumental in the success of the Devils, and I think the fans really responded to the work ethic that you guys show.
It's exciting. I'm just glad this is happening. It's finally reality and starting to sink in. It's an unbelievable feeling. It's great.
What are your thoughts? The team has been rumored to move. Any feelings?
Well, look at the response. We all pretty much want to stay here, but those are things we can't control, and we're just going to enjoy this one.
All right, we'll let you enjoy it. You're traveling with Bobby Holik. What have you told Bobby about tonight?
It's exciting. It's an unbelievable feeling.
All right, Bobby Holik showing that he's number one. The team's number one. Mike and Peter upstairs to you.
It's kind of interesting, isn't it? Now, as we look at them, Mike's on the left and Bobby's at center. It's supposed to be the other way around. I think left wing should be on the shifted side. And where is Randy McKay? Well, we'll probably see him a little bit later on. I think that's a throwback to Slapshot, isn't it? We got to mean this bus up a little bit, have some dents in it.
Well, Michael, you coined the phrase crash line halfway through the season with the whole leak line. And, it was one of those things that I think that the players really enjoyed. Talk about the teammates of the crash line, because they did such a great job so many nights of just adding that little inspiration when the Devils needed it.
Speaking of inspiration, the play of Tommy Albaline was always so strong. Let's hear from him.
Albaline and his family enjoying the congratulations of the fans here. And Tommy, this is a beautiful night for Devils fans. They've waited a long time for it. You've waited a long time for it too, though.
Oh yeah, we've been waiting a long time for this, and everything's last year we lost the range. It's like this year is so much sweeter, it seems like. We know we've almost been through it 2 years in a row, and this year we finally pull it off, so it's just great.
The Devils obviously finally won some respect by capturing the cup. How much did that fuel the team throughout the run in the playoffs?
I think it's fueled everybody, we don't have the mess years and all the all the stars, and we just thrive on team defense and all 20 guys working.
I know you're a year-long resident of New Jersey. I know you want to stay here, and I know that you know how important this is to the fans of this state.
Oh, I just listen to it right now, and you know, I think a lot of guys want to stay too, and I like the area here, and you know, you get to know the area pretty well when you're here for a long time. And
who do you have on your lap here?
It's my little son, Adam.
Adam, are you enjoying yourself tonight?
Yeah.
He's quiet. He's enjoying it, though. Maybe a little nervous, a little shy in front of the cameras. That'll go away soon. Tommy, congratulations. Mike and Peter.
Proud representative of his country, and there you see the governor of the state of New Jersey, Christine Todd Whitman. The picture of her has gone up in front of the fans here, too, and a knowing smile, knowing that this is the nature of politics and the nature of what has been going on lately, too. We have seen some signs like that one. There's an opening night pennant, and beneath it a championship pennant, and the printing underneath says, "Thanks for the ride," and it has been a pretty interesting one in particular this year, but an historic one over 13 years when you consider that this team was referred to as a Mickey Mouse organization at one time, and it is shown now, and shown to the author of that comment in graphic terms Saturday night, that it was that probably not, and if it was, it is no longer.
Well, Michael, you can take all those terms that they were called, you can put them all together and throw them away. They're just one thing, that's the Stanley Cup champions.
Speaking of Stanley Cup, it has been linked with Larry Robinson for a long time, and it is again this year.
All right, Mike, thank you. Larry, the fans obviously love the Devils, and you've got to feel awfully proud about your contribution to the Team Stanley Cup.
Well, certainly it's just, I'm very, very happy for everybody, and certainly very happy for New Jersey. I think it just shows you, you know, how these people feel about us. Everybody, they're out here in droves, and it's, even though we're a couple of days after the finale, you know, they're still sort of, they still like us, and they still love to see us, and it's nice to see.
How does it feel 4 days later?
Great, but I still like to get a good night's sleep one of these days.
One last question. There's so much talk about the team leaving. There's also talk about you leaving. Where's your future?
Well, I don't know yet. I've got a lot of things to look at in a couple of weeks, and I don't have a decision yet. Something that I'm going to wait, I'll listen, and see out of it.
All right, Larry, we'll let you enjoy the rest of the night as we go upstairs to Mike and Peter.
And at the other side of that car was Danton Cole, a guy who came from Tampa Bay right around the trade deadline and was one of the contributors. He saw one game in the Stanley Cup playoffs, but was one of those guys that you always knew you could count on in a situation when you had injuries to fill in well.
That was one of the things that really did surprise me about the playoffs this year, and it's a real testimony to the Devils, the size and the strength of the club. They only used 24 players, and they, you know, they had great depth, but the players stayed healthy, and that was a big key, Michael.
Stan Fischler is downstairs with the governor.
Stan Fischler here with Governor Whitman. Your feelings at this moment in time?
Oh, this is all about the Devils. It's wonderful. I mean, the fans are here. They're enthusiastic, and this is for them to enjoy that great triumph that team brought us. So it's great. It's wonderful to be here.
Many of them, dozens of them, have pleaded with me, keep the team here. We heard some very disquieting news this afternoon that the team may even be sold. What's the story?
Well, as far as I know, we're continuing negotiations. I don't take yesterday's letter as being final. I'm on the fan side on this one. I want to keep them here, and we're still negotiating with them, and they're actually coming and negotiating with us now, which didn't happen before. So that's a good sign.
So you feel that this report is unfounded based on the fact that people are still talking?
Yes. I mean, I don't know which report you're talking about, but the letter that the Devils sent yesterday said they were moving out next week. I don't think that's the end. I really don't believe that. We're still talking. We're still negotiating. They were negotiating last night, and even John McMullen said that was the most productive meeting we've had thus far.
Thanks very much, Governor.
Okay.
Mike, Peter, thank you.
You see that it is now getting near sunset, but there, shadowed against the sunset, is the Conn Smythe Trophy. That means that Claude Lemieux is not far away. Of course, he's hanging on to it. They have started to play some music and show some clips from some of the Devils games on the big screen here. The fans are now becoming focused. From helicopters, from down below, in cars, and standing on their feet, as many have been doing since 1 or 2 o'clock this afternoon. They might be hoarse, but you wouldn't know it because the cheering continues to be loud and long as they they respond to the video that's being played behind them.
And Michael, there's a rumor that the Stanley Cup is going to arrive in some surprise manner, and it may be in that helicopter. We have no idea. We have no idea at this point what's going on in the Stanley Cup. That's one thing we did not see in any of the cars, so a little extra surprise.
Well, this has been one of the few mysteries that has surrounded the organizing of the celebration today. There have been, of course, other mysteries off and on since they won this championship, but the Stanley Cup only weighs 35 pounds, and it is glistening stainless steel, but boy, does it ever bring a reaction, especially when those who have longed so far for it in their careers have come on to win it. Only Claude Lemieux and Stéphane Richer had ever been a part of a Stanley Cup winner before. Of course, the coaching staff had been, but now that's an experience that 24 of the guys who participated in the finals can enjoy, not just 2. Again, to Stan Fischler. Due to some technical problems, we'll not hear from Stan now, but you can trust that we will hear from him later. I think our crew has suspected something, the way they're honing in on that helicopter that continues to circle.
And Michael, it's just amazing to feel the anticipation of this crowd. They're, you know, looking around for a while, they were just sort of, the band was here and there was sort of one atmosphere, but now as the players are going on and everything, you know, it really has changed. You can see that everything is starting to focus towards the podium and waiting for the players. I mean, they really can't wait to see the players and that Stanley Cup.
We have seen street hockey played in this parking lot this afternoon, and of course that was going on before Devils games, even in some of the coldest of weather out here when the season got started in January. There have been booths set up out here that fans have been going to this afternoon. There have been some games that have been played. The overpass that goes across Route 120 has been flooded with people who have been coming across from the parking lots in Giant Stadium. There have been signs that undoubtedly, for neat printing like that, which I could never do, that looks like one of those professionally lettered ones, has to take people an awful lot of time. But not only are they expending that time, but a lot of love to have signs here that they can hold off and maybe be spotted by the players, or in this case by our cameramen tonight.
And Mike, you alluded to one thing that happened this afternoon. That was a team picture. And, you know, they didn't allow the press in, but I kind of snuck around and I wanted just to watch.
Again?
Well, you know, got a few in.
Did you have a pass?
And it was just amazing to watch the players as they looked at the Stanley Cup being put right in front of them. It was the last thing that was brought out. As the players got in their positions and were sort of heightened and systematically placed, and all of a sudden the Stanley Cup is dropped right in front of them, and they realize they're Stanley Cup champions, or it's acknowledged again that they're Stanley Cup champions, and pretty special smiles.
A greater acknowledgement of that is coming up in just a moment as our coverage on News Sport continues after this.
After all the years of endurance and determination, the insatiable hunger to conquer has brought the Stanley Cup to the New Jersey Devils. Celebrate the excitement of the Devils' victory with the finest tradition of Russian craftsmanship. Made from linden wood, these museum-quality figures are adoptions of centuries-old folk art, hand-painted and polished with a musical chime inside. This commemorative set of 2 figures, each with their own Stanley Cup, is incredibly priced at only $34.95. Quantities are limited. Show your pride. Order now. Call 1-800-666-GOLD.
Come Crash the Party is sponsored by Starter. It's about team. And right now, this is about Stan Fischler. Stan?
Oh, Mike, guess what I found? A Ranger fan all her life, Amy Boziolis, and guess what? She's converted to the Devils. Tell me about it. Why?
Well, besides that the Rangers bowed out in the second round and I had to see my hockey, I think that the Devils really just showed what hockey teams are all about. Perseverance and dedication, and it was just a beautiful thing to watch. And I just felt that the Rangers, after the Cup win, just didn't try hard enough. And the Devils took their loss last year in the semis and just ran with it and had a goal, and they continued and fought. And I just am really totally impressed with them. I think I just enjoyed watching. They play fabulous hockey, and besides they have a great organization, especially with Sports Channel, and it's just beautiful to watch.
Amy, who's your favorite Devil and why?
Oh gosh, probably Claude Lemieux or maybe Stéphane Richer. I love how they skate. I really do.
When you think the Devils would really win the Cup this year? When did you sense they were going to win it?
I felt that once they stopped Philly, they stopped Lindros and Leclerc, I said, you know, they're going to go all the way. And because really Detroit didn't have a lot of tough players. You know, I mean, they had Primo, but I just felt that they're more finesse, whereas the Devils just had it all. They had finesse, they had great defense, and I just felt that they were, after they beat Philly.
She's an editor of Mad Magazine, but she's not mad. Mike, Peter?
Okay. The party goes on here. The players will very shortly be making an appearance. You see our location here as I wave some papers to show you. High above, looking not only out away from the stage, but eventually down toward it. And Amy documented what a Devils fan of very short duration would appreciate, as well as these who have been coming here, some of them just for this year and some of them for much longer. It was quite a squad, wasn't it? It was a team in virtually every concept at all, although they did have leaders in various departments. It was a team concept from the beginning, all through the forward lines and the defense.
Well, I think one of the things that really helped this club grow up was that semifinal series last year against the Rangers. They lost Game 7, and other clubs could have folded. But this club took that loss. They didn't talk about a lot during the season. The only time I ever heard the Devils players talk about Game 6 or Game 7 against the Rangers, as far as using it for motivation, was Game 6 against the Philadelphia Flyers. They did not want to do this year what they had done last year, let that cup slip through their fingers. So what they did is for the first time, they were able to talk about it. It wasn't something that was easily brought up or something they easily talked about because it was such a painful loss. But when they needed it, they used it, and as she said, they just ran with it right to the Stanley Cup.
They did indeed, and so did their fans as well on this day when their fans are getting the salute that they've long been waiting for. You've heard Stan Fischler talking with the governor as well as with converted New York Rangers fans who've switched over to the New Jersey Devils. Matt Loughlin has had a chance to chat with a number of them. The motorcade is not yet finished, but we are going to be joining the stage program that will take place a little bit later on. We are seeing Matt down below as he is circulating amongst the people here. And a part of this, because we have a technical difficulty right now, part of this joy that we are able to convey has to come through our reporters who are down below. But when Peter and I came up on the stand, just a mere acknowledgement with a wave brought some cheers, not necessarily because we're that magnificent at all, but it's just the joy that they have right now looking for anyone that has had any connection with this team. And boy, when those guys come up on the stage tonight, I think we're going to see it and hear it big time. Stan Fischler is downstairs now. Stan?
Stan Fischler, tell me, is this the greatest moment in your sports life as a fan?
This is so exciting. This is what it means to be a fan. You support the team, you come out. This is what you wait for. This is so exciting. The feeling I've had as a sport about tonight. I can't wait for the players to come out. I'm going to root my hardest for them, show them my support, show everybody else here supports them too, because what's important. All the people, not just me, not just my wife, but everybody behind us too. We are proud to be Devils fans. We've waited a long time. We love this. We are Devils.
They are indeed proud, aren't they? Very proud fans. I saw a Bobby Holik poster hoisted. You know, we're talking about the crash line. There are three guys that came from such diverse backgrounds, not only geographically where they were born, but also organizations. Mike Peluso, though he was in Chicago, came from Ottawa. Bobby Holik from Hartford. Randy McKay from Detroit. They did have some good years there, but not all of them were good. And those three guys from such backgrounds came together and all of a sudden became one of the more dynamic lines that we've seen, and probably the best fourth line in the world this year.
And when they were together, they were magnificent. They would acknowledge the fact that when any one player was injured, they just weren't as good. They seemed to feed off each other's energy. When Holik was in trouble, you knew McKay and Peluso would be right in there. When Peluso was involved in something, Bobby Holik, who wasn't known for fighting, would be right in there to make sure that no one else got involved. And again, it was just a great line to watch.
We'll have more from the Meadowlands Complex in just a moment. Come Crash the Party is sponsored by Starter. It's about team. Here's Stan Fischler.
Mike, I'm down here with Barbara of Rockaway, and you saw the last game on television. What are your thoughts about it? What do you remember best?
Oh, it was so exciting. My whole family, we were like glued to TV, and it was the most exciting game, I think, because it was like decision-making game, and we were all looking forward. We're gonna, and we were applauding them. We were. It was just wonderful. It was just, I don't know. It was so excited that, especially who's at here.
Mike, Peter.
You know, when Jacques Lemaire was asked before the start of the Detroit series, I remember at the press conference at Joe Louis Arena in Detroit about going up against Scotty Bowman, he said, I don't think about beating Scotty. I think about winning to reward my players' hard work. That's all. It wasn't anything, but it would have been a natural thing to expect that, hey, I can finally beat the old teacher. But no, it was never that, and it was a very cordial, though very brief handshake that they had following this series. Jacques Lemaire was one of the guys, I guess, and one of the few that when he played for Scotty Bowman would ask him why. Why are we doing things? I don't know if Scotty sensed that eventually Jacques would be a coach, but sure enough he was, and he wound up showing that he learned a good deal from Scotty Bowman. Scotty had been one of the guys that was more prominent in Jacques' life in terms of molding the type of coach that he became. You see the captain there, Scott Stevens, the man who played such an important role in this team. We are getting very close to things starting to happen on stage here tonight.
And that's his wife standing beside him. Mike Levine, PR man for the Devils. Jimmy Dowd. Trying to look and see. Yeah, they're showing this to the fans now. The fans realize the players are down below and they're getting ready. Scotty Stevens. Children right there.
Yeah, he still has a little welt on the side of his cheek from that check that Eric Lindros threw. What was so interesting from that is that Stevens got up, Lindros had a penalty, and Stevens got up with not only a smile but laughter.
Well, I think it was one of the things that made Scotty Stevens so special in the playoff series was he took the punishment. He gave out a lot of punishment, but every single night, whether it was Cam Neely, Jaromir Jagr, Lindros, he was right there.
We are close to seeing and hearing. Scott Stevens has come to the podium. It will undoubtedly be a while before he can speak. We'll let you listen to some of the crowd.
And you know what's really nice, Mike, is that the players, not only the players up there, but the wives and the children are also up there. And again, you just get back to the fact that, you know, that's what these guys are about. You know, they're not phony about it. They all want it. There's Kenny Danico's little daughter right there. Kenny Danico's wife. I mean, there's Christopher Terreri. You know, sort of the forgotten man in all of this, but what an inspiration he was to his teammates with his hard work, and now cheering the fans on with a Nashville No Way sign. Players one by one getting out of their cars, coming up to the stage.
Claude Lemieux has seen this done in Montreal. Isn't it interesting that despite all the chanting, the young Danico baby sleeps?
Those babies, they can sleep through anything, I'll tell you. She was...
Except when you're sleeping.
She was downstairs before tonight's game, and she was wide awake then. And you look at the players right now, and you see the smiles. And again, all of this is slowly, I think, Mike, sinking in for the players. They realized the night Saturday night they had won the Stanley Cup, but as each passing day goes on, I think they realize more and more that they are Stanley Cup champions. No one can take it away. It wasn't a dream, it's reality, and it's something that they have tied themselves together with as a group and with the history of the National Hockey League.
Motorcade continues. Following the final game at about 1:15, we had just signed off Sports Channel, and Bruce came out into the hallway about 15 feet behind the cup. And if someone can communicate by shaking hands and by the smile on his face that he had just arrived in what on this particular earth we would consider heaven on earth, it was Bruce.
There's Tom Chorosky with his lovely girlfriend. And there's the man who scored the Stanley Cup game-winning goal. Game 4 game winner, Neil Broughton, who joined the Devils from the Dallas Stars. About 2/3 of the way through the season, had a couple of goals in Game 4, and was so inspirational on the Devils. The Devils missed what Bernie Nichols gave them last season. They were missing that veteran leadership, and Broughton gave it to them.
Randy McKay.
Mike, there aren't many tougher guys in this league than Randy McKay. And you know what was so interesting for the Devils? There was only one fight in 20 games in the Devils. They kept their composure. They took so few retaliation penalties. I mean, and this is a tough team. This is a club. If some club wants to drop the gloves, they can go. But they said, no, we'll take one on the nose for the team. What a great summer it's going to be for Claude Lemieux. After the contract hassle, all the personal problems he went through last season and start of this year. And now he walks into the 95 summer MVP Stanley Cup winner.
And he goes down as the only Devil and the first one to ever appear on Regis and Kathy Lee. Lou Lamoriello, the general manager, on the left. Jacques Lemaire, the man he hired 2 years ago, on the right.
You know, I was at the draft 2 years ago when the speculation was who is going to be the next coach of the New Jersey Devils. Michael, I can guarantee you, I heard 150 names that in the 2 days I was there. And there's Mr. McMullen in the front seat right there with his dog, the ever-present dog, Hector, the big Hector. But I can tell you, Michael, nobody mentioned Jacques Lemaire's name as coming to be coach of the New Jersey Devils because everyone thought he was so firmly entrenched with the Montreal Canadiens. Remember, he had quit coaching because he didn't like the pressure of the press. But that was because of the Montreal pressure of the press. He looked to see the lineup of the Devils, and he said, I can see myself coaching that club. And in 2 seasons, the Devils have been to the Stanley Cup semifinals and to now all the way to Stanley Cup champions.
Building confidence, Jacques Lemaire said in Detroit, is a job that you do early in the playoffs. As he entered the finals, he said, my job of confidence building is over with. These guys have it, or they wouldn't be here.
You know, Mike, it was such a different atmosphere in the dressing room. The Game 1 Detroit that had been there in any of the previous 16 games the Devils had played.
The omnipresent Bill Guerin.
Mike, there are, in a normal season, 84 games, there are a lot of long nights. And a lot of times, the team will get to a place, say Edmonton, they've got a charter out of Edmonton, and you can always trust 1 o'clock in the morning, Billy Guerin will do something to lighten the mood, get everybody laughing and realizing that, you know, maybe we're taking this whole thing a little too seriously.
Everything that is seen by this crowd brings cheers. Even people dressed up in what would be cone heads but are cup heads. I remember asking Bill Guerin late in the year, and it was during an interview, how do you assess your year? This was late in the regular season. He said, I have not put up the kind of numbers I wanted to put up. Things change. And they seemed to shift with him, although he was ready for it. They seemed to shift with him in the Philadelphia series. And it just took off like a ton from that point on.
And it's the kind of series where numbers just don't mean anything anymore for the Devils. There is only one number that's important, Mike, and that's 1. They are number 1.
The music has died down. That may be the indication that we are about to see the start of our official program on stage. There will be a laser show tonight, a fireworks exhibition too. That will follow some remarks from the players and other people that are pertinent to the club.
And Mike, I was wondering, would the news that came out yesterday dampen the enthusiasm or the numbers of people that would show up for this celebration? And it has not affected, it seems to me, this crowd at all. They are so much a part of what this team is about. And Brian Ralston, I wonder if 10 years from now, if he's on a Stanley Cup, he'll say, you know, when I was 22 years old and won a Stanley Cup in New Jersey, I didn't realize how tough it was. I wonder if some of the older guys have got to say to the young guys, enjoy this, because this chance doesn't come along that often. Look at that face, Michael. Look at that face. Scotty Stevens, 30 years old now, 12 years in the National Hockey League. Started with the Washington Capitals, St. Louis Blues, and now with the Devils. There is joy, there is pride, there's accomplishment in that face.
This is not a group of individuals who are by themselves guys that would have a lot of stage presence, because that's not one of the things that's required to be a hockey player. But it's remarkable to me how comfortable they seem out there as this celebration goes on without the formal part beginning. There's just, all it is an exhibition of joy. There's no preoccupation with how I look up here. This is fun. And it's a part of reacting with the fans who created quite an atmosphere within the arena by the time this was all done.
And I think, Mike, the players realize if they were to sit back and not show the joy they feel, they wouldn't be sharing this. And that's what it's about. This is about sharing the joy that they have with the joy that the fans feel.
We'll have more from the Meadowlands Sports Complex in just a moment. Come crash the party, sponsored tonight by Starter. It's about team. The Crash Line is all together on stage, and when they first came to the stage, Mike Peluso came forward and did the wave sign that he did so often on the ice. Well, that's a thought. And then Bobby Holik grabbed both Peluso and McKay to make sure that they came forward as we would see them on the ice, with Peluso on the left, Holik at center, and Randy McKay on the right as the Crash Line, and another big roar going up from the crowd.
Mike, one of the great images will be Mike Peluso. Last few minutes. You were calling that game. But is it something that you talk through, or you just let the emotions show themselves?
Well, at first I think it was helpful to provide a little background on Mike Peluso and then just let the picture go. And it was one of those pictures that did not go away.
Yeah. I've talked to more people in the last couple of days that saw the game, and you know, you just realize then the differences of a person's personality. I mean, Mike can be so tough and yet show that kind of caring.
Matt Lachlan.
Scott Niedermayer in the car enjoying the congratulations from the fans. And Scotty, the Stanley Cup playoffs were a bit of a coming out party for you.
For sure, you know, the whole team played really well, and you know, it's an exciting time of year, so you know, it's fun to go out and play hockey during the playoffs.
What lasting memory will you take from it? I think the fans will think about that end-to-end rush in which it resulted in a goal against Detroit.
That was just one big goal scored by a lot of different guys in this team, and you know, a lot of guys stepped up and scored big goals at different times, so it was just one of many.
I'm trying to make my way. Somewhat I feel like a Secret Service agent here. Scotty, what's the reaction back in Cranbrook?
Everybody back there is really excited too. I mean, you know, I know a lot of people in town, so they're having a good time too.
All right, well, Scotty Niedermayer having a good time tonight, gentlemen, as they let the procession go by.
Night in Detroit, when there wasn't much reaction from the crowd, there was a tremendous reaction as they just replayed that Scott Niedermayer goal. Chris Terreri is downstairs now with Stan.
Well, Mike, I'm here with Chris Terreri. Chris, you've got a sign. I want you to open it up and tell me all about it. Go ahead.
We got it out earlier in the parade here, and the people really like it, and I think you'll see it by their reaction. This is what I guess you're long for, and it'd be a shame to play your whole career for a team that doesn't exist anymore. And that's why we love to stay here. And this is just unbelievable. This is great.
Is this opinion shared by your teammates?
Yeah, I think so. The support that we got coming out here, I mean, that's the opinion right down the line. You know, unfortunately, we don't have much to do in the whole scheme of things. You know, it comes down to business matters, and so we're just hoping, but you don't know.
What about the players? Have they said anything to the owners? Have you got here?
I mean, it's not part of our business. They have a business to run, and they have to run it the best way they can. If they feel that they have to do it, and we have to accept that. We may not like it, but we have to accept it.
Okay, Mike, Peter.
Chris Terreri, one of the gems of attitude on this team, didn't really have a chance to play much, but seemed to be ready to play in the event of injury or in the event of something very surprising, like Martin Brodeur giving up more than 2 on one night.
Yeah, Chris Terreri, you know, his whole job was to face shots in morning practice and during the practice, because he knew he probably wasn't going to get a chance during the games unless there was a disaster. I'll tell you, Mike, that helicopter will not go away. It keeps circling and circling. It keeps circling around. Where is that something?
What a beautiful picture, though.
Is that silver, Michael, on the side right there?
Might very well be.
Giant State in the background as he goes by.
He's getting lower all the time. And I have first.
Well, there's your Stanley Cup coming in right now.
The crowd has just been advised that the Stanley Cup is with the helicopter. I was going to say, I have first-hand knowledge that the helicopter pad is not here. It's over on the other side of Giant Stadium. This will be interesting. The voice you hear is that of Russ Salzberg, who is the MC tonight.
We're finding more and more creative ways to bring that baby to the players. Thing we should mention, Mike, it could not have been a nicer evening for this. This is just perfect weather.
It's quite a way to get it here, isn't it? With the laser show continuing to go on the side wall of the Meadowlands Arena, Scott Stevens is the official athletic curator of this cup. It was brought to the hallway during the third period of the game. It was supposed to be on display through Monday over at one of the hotels. But because of the Devils' impressive first 3 wins, it could not be kept there because it was perhaps going to be presented.
We're about 15 feet away from the moment 13 years this franchise has been waiting for its captain to carry the Stanley Cup.
All right, Matt.
Scott Stevens, you carry the cup one more time like you did on Saturday night. A little different feeling this evening, but I'm sure it's quite enjoyable.
Oh, it's great. We got great fan support here. It's unbelievable. The guys are just overwhelmed, and it's exciting.
As you made your way through the motorcade and the fans reacted to the Stanley Cup champions, what thoughts went through your head?
Coming back here, repeating next year. That's what in my head.
And that's a great goal to have. The question, I guess, is will it be here?
I sure hope so, but let's enjoy the moment right now and let these fans have some fun tonight.
Scotty, what has your family said about winning the Stanley Cup? They've seen you go through all the trials and tribulations.
They're just excited as I am. I mean, all my life they've taken me to hockey and they've helped me out, and this is for them also.
As you make your way to the stage for the presentation, actually to the fans, final thought.
It's incredible. I'm just so happy for all these people. They've waited a long time through thick and thin, and now we finally got the cup, and we're just going to enjoy it right now.
All right, Scott, enjoy it. Thanks. The fans have waited a long time, guys. So is the man who wears the C, number 4, Scotty Stevens.
And he is headed up the steps now. We'll let you listen as he heads to the center stage.
whose hockey career was in doubt because of an eye injury, comes back to saste the champagne in the cup. Jimmy Dowd, New Jersey's own.
Family members are here today too, and you saw, perhaps if you were watching earlier, a clip from Jim Dowd's family. They're all here. A good deal of Brick, I think, is here tonight. Too heavy, especially light tonight. In the hands of Brian Ralston.
I asked some of the players, were they surprised at how light or how heavy the cup was? And they also, when they first grabbed it, they were surprised how heavy it was when they got it up. When they finally lifted it over their heads, they were amazed how light it became.
He just barely missed being a part of 2 championship teams in the same year, being with Albany earlier.
score and pass better than any other team in the National Hockey League, and they're ours. They can play the trap and they can do things that other teams are just beginning to find out about. And I look forward to, the same way every other fan does, to watch them defend that cup and bring it right back home here next year. Now I'd like to ask the captain of the team, Scott Stevens, if he'd come up here. On behalf of all the people of the state of New Jersey, and this is representative for the whole team, Scott, I want to present you with this medal and tell you how proud we are of you, and we want to see you here next year.
Thank you, Governor. It's a pretty good hockey team you have here, don't you think? On their way to capturing your 1995 Stanley Cup, the Devils won 16 games, lost only 4 in the playoffs. Their road record was an incredible new National Hockey League Stanley Cup record, 10-1. They stand before you with their families as the best team in hockey. And now I'd like to introduce the man who put this team together, President and General Manager Lou Lamoriello.
Thank you. I have a question, first of all. Governor, where's our governor? What is the trap? What is the trap?
It's a defensive maneuver that the rest of the league hasn't figured out yet. They can't get past center's line.
Okay. All right. First of all I want to say is that this is the players' night, and I'll be very quick. We played in Boston. We played in Pittsburgh. We played in Philadelphia. We played in Detroit. And the best fans in the country are in New Jersey. And Chris Terreri put a sign up. And we'll do everything in our power to make sure that sign is correct. This is your night. You deserve it. You deserve it as much as the people up here. You supported us. You gave us what we needed. But right now, let's let the players, the coaches, and all the fans out there across the country who are listening to this hear what you really think of them. Two words. Thank you. And right now, I want to introduce the person who made it responsible, who kept the guys away from their families for the last 2 months. And there there is no question, the best, and I say the best coach in the game, Jack Lemire.
Just give me a second, please. Just 1 second. I heard a lot of things during the whole season, but I never thought I would hear about the trap by the governor tonight. I had enough of that all year. I'd like to take this opportunity to thank all of you for your support all year, and especially in the playoffs. And also, I'd like to thank all the families, the wives, and the kids, because it's true, I had these guys in jail for 2 months. And I also want to thank my wife. Thank you.
One heck of a coaching staff. Let's show what we think of them. Jacques' assistants, Larry Robinson, Jacques Caron, Red Gendron, strength and conditioning, Michael Vasilani, trainer Ted Shook, equipment manager Dave Nichols, and therapist Bob Huddleston. And now let's get to the heart and soul of tonight's matter, the blood and guts, the guys who gave you the Stanley Cup, the New Jersey Devils. Defenseman Tommy Abilene. Number 7, defenseman Chris McAlpine. Number 8, left wing Mike Peluso. Number 9, center Neil Broughton. Number 11, from Brick, New Jersey, center Jimmy Dowd. Number 12, right wing Billy Gary. Number 14, left wing Brian Ralston. Number 15, right wing 12-year veteran Johnny McClain. Number 16, a crash liner, Bobby Holik. Number 17, right winger Tom Chorsky. Number 18, center Sergei Breland. Number 19, center Bobby Carpenter, couldn't be here tonight. Number 20, right wing, Denton Cole. Another crash liner, number 21, right winger, Randy McKay. Number 22, right winger, Conn Smythe Trophy winner, Claude Lemieux. Another guy who waited 12 years. Number 23, defenseman, Bruce Driver. Number 25, left winger, Valerie Seliputkin. Number 27, defenseman, Scotty Niedermeyer. Number 28, defenseman, Kevin Dean. Number 29, defenseman, Sean Chambers. Not here tonight. Number 44, left winger, Stefan Richer. The next guy told me earlier, now I understand why I played 20 years of hockey. Number 31, goaltender, Chris Terreri. And last, but certainly not least, number 30, goaltender, Martin Brodeur. Now let's hear what the Devils think of the Cup and you, the fans. First up, defenseman, 12-year veteran, Bruce Driver.
Good evening. I tell you what, you guys out there are absolutely awesome. This is unbelievable. I never would have thought we would have this many people here. You guys have stuck through us through thick and thin. I tell you what, when a young Ken Danico came into the league here, Johnny McLean and myself, you guys were behind us then, and we know you're behind us now. You guys are the best. And I'll tell you, there's been an awful lot of talk about the three of us and how long we've been together here and been through some tough times. But there's a few other guys here, I'll tell you, that have been waiting an awful long time for this as well. Neil Brodin, U.S. Olympian from 1980. We all remember those times. Scotty Stevens as well, played his whole career, never had a chance to win it. Bobby Carpenter as well. There's a whole host of guys up here that have been waiting for this dream. A dream come true. We've dedicated our whole lives to playing hockey and trying to get the ultimate goal, and we finally got it here in New Jersey. And this Stanley Cup is as much for the players as it is for you fans too. Enjoy the evening.
Next up, another guy who waited just as long. Where is he? Johnny McLean.
Turn this thing around. Here we go. I'd just like to thank everybody for showing up today. It was an unbelievable feeling to come out here and for everybody to show the support. And we just hope that we'll be able to be here for a long time, and I firmly believe we will. It's a great state. I've fallen in love with it, and I hope you fans enjoy it, because this is what it's all about, and we finally realized our dream. And I got one, Kenny Danica is going to come up and say something to you, because he's been through a lot here also, and he really wants to talk, and you guys deserve it, and we deserve it, so let's have fun with it.
What's there to say? You guys have been waiting a long time for this, everybody in this team, and there's more guts and character on this club than I've ever seen in my life. I'm losing my voice, but I've enjoyed this more than you can ever imagine. And you people that have been through it, the thick and thin with us over the years, and the ones that have started following us now, continue to follow us. Fill the seats in here. We won't have to worry about moving. But right now, let's just enjoy this moment, because it's the greatest feeling in the world. I never could have imagined it being this good, a million times better, and you people should enjoy it as much as us. You deserve it. We got a championship for the New Jersey, state of New Jersey, first team made in New Jersey. You gotta love it. Yeah!
Conversation yesterday with the next player, and he said to me, you know, Russ, when this banner gets hoisted next year, it can only be hoisted in front of one group of people in New Jersey. I'm talking about Captain Scott Stevens.
Thanks a lot. This is awesome. You people are great, and we appreciate everything you did for us this year, all your support, especially in the playoffs. You guys are fantastic. We knew you were right behind us all the time, and we won this cup for you also. And I just want to say, I can't wait to see you people here next year when we repeat winning the Stanley Cup once again. Thank you.
The Devil said to me, management said, Russ, close tonight however you want. I can tell you this, folks, we can't control what happens in the future. We can only hope what happens, and we can hope for the same thing, which I'm sure is this, that these New Jersey Devils stay in New Jersey for many, many years to come. Where's Serrari with that sign again? Hold it up. But no matter what lies ahead in the future, one thing is for certain. 1995 is your Stanley Cup season. Don't ever forget it. Good night.
Night here. We ask you to set your VCRs for Sunday at 8 on Sports Channel. If you can't be at home at that time, that's when you can recapture the Devils' thrilling playoff run with a Sports Channel special. The title is Team, the New Jersey Devils 1995. And even if you're home watching it for the first time and you have a VCR, get it running anyway, because I think you're going to want to relive the moments of this season again later on. Even when it's 105 degrees out in the summertime, it'll be wonderful to haul it back out again. It's an hour-long tribute to these Stanley Cup champions. That's Sunday at 8 o'clock on Sports Channel. We should mention that Sean Chambers and Bobby Carpenter were not present here. They had to return to their homes. There was a good deal of talk about Nashville, because that is also a part of the scenario that has been with this team over recent days, but you have gotten an idea on how the players feel about it. They've expressed their feelings, and they've also said at the same time, this is not our department, but this is how we feel about you. It has been quite an outgrowth and a showing of love here tonight.
And I think the players, to a man, were just enormously impressed with the numbers of the people that showed up, the enthusiasm, and just the way that everyone handled themselves in today's celebration. It was just, it really, Mike, it was just spectacular to be part of it. You know, I thought they picked great people to come out and talk. Not only the captain, of course, Scotty Stevens, but Danico, Driver, and McLean, the three guys that have been here the longest. Just an enormously fun evening, just the way it should be.
Well, Matt Loughlin has been down in this crowd tonight. Let's hear from him for one final time. Matt?
Mike, to build a little bit on Kenny Danico's thoughts that this was the first championship in New Jersey, a number of the fans here were saying they were here when the Giants won their first Super Bowl and they participated in that parade. But many of them told me that the feeling was not the same. One thing, it was a lot colder, but secondly, it was more of a regional celebration. The fans here tonight were celebrating a championship won by a team not afraid to put New Jersey on their team label. The New Jersey Devils bring the first championship here. A wonderful evening. Some thought this might be a farewell party, what with all the talk about Nashville, but the feeling here among the fans is this was just a victory celebration, and as Scott Stevens said, they hope to have a second one next year. A marvelous evening this evening here at the Meadowlands Arena as the New Jersey Devils are feted as Stanley Cup champions. Gentlemen, back upstairs to you.
These are people who have attended tonight who have handed over an awful lot of after-tax dollars. This is not a heavy corporate area here that buys tickets. These are people that are taking what is left of paychecks that they have toward budgets to invest in entertainment and to support this team. And they did remarkably all the way through the regular season. Their average attendance was up over 1,500. Their attendance in the playoffs was up over the previous year, over 1,500. They have not only invested their dollars, but their hearts in this team, as we've been able to hear tonight. Stan Fischler.
Well, Mike, I was listening to the players very carefully, and it's almost as if you don't have to read between the lines. They don't want to go to Nashville, and they couldn't have articulated it any better. My friend Billy Guerin just gave me a kiss, and Billy Guerin is one of the players who's very fervent about staying here in New Jersey. And I'm telling you something, if ownership is listening into these guys, they better be very careful, because I can tell you this, if the club does move, they're going to be a very, very unhappy bunch. The players told me they couldn't anticipate a crowd larger than this. One of the state policemen said that it was more than 60,000. We'll probably get the figures later on, but it's absolutely more than anybody had figured, and the celebration right now is going on and on. The fans don't want to leave. The players are staying on stage. And I'm telling you this, I don't think right now, it doesn't look to me like a decision has been made. Governor Whitman made that very clear, and so did Lou Lamoriello. I thought Lamoriello's words were very, very much to the point. It seemed to me that no decision has been made yet, that they're still talking. Hopefully they're right. Mike, Peter?
Well, big fella, what do you think of all this?
Well, Mike, I'm very proud to say I've been associated with this New Jersey club for 10 years, lived in New Jersey for 10 years, and, you know, this was just absolutely spectacular. You know, you dream about this day from the day the Devils, I first got to hear the Devils, and, you know, when they wore green and red uniforms. Now they have a much different look, and they are a much different hockey club. They are Stanley Cup champions. Mike, it was a perfect day.
Was indeed. Saturday night is the primary thing. We mentioned that earlier with the players on the ice and in the locker room, their celebration. Tonight was a special night for the fans, but I think the feeling you come away with is a tremendous warmth that the players have for the fans, and how we were not only seeing that by the way they were expressing themselves on stage, even though they might not have been saying anything, but in what they said when they did have the microphone in front of them.
Michael, thank you very much for sharing this year with me, and thanks to the fans for being such a big part of it. But I just want to say thank you to the players. You don't very often see a group of athletes try that hard, put that much into it, and really they were a team. And in a day and age when individuals take so much of the sport page, when you see a team like the Devils come together, play like they did in the playoffs, enjoy it. It was a great, great time.
We hope you've enjoyed our coverage too. Come Crash the Party was the title of this tonight. It sort of infers that 8, 21, and 16 were involved again, doesn't it? And indeed they were. It was sponsored by Starter. Starter says it's about team. And you see some of the fans drifting away from the Meadowlands tonight. This was a significant player celebration we mentioned on the ice Saturday, but the most significant fans celebration, their chance tonight to cheer once more for the guys that raised the cup 3 nights ago. Along for Matt Laughlin and Stan Fischler and Peter McNabb and Danton Cole and Ken Danico and all of these smiling faces, Mike Emmerich saying good night.